Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to another one of my favourite type of videos, the double unboxing. I get to peel the stickers off not one but two watches for our mutual benefit, and these are two new pieces that I bought with a view to adding them to my personal collection, though my personal collection being as fluid as it is. Let's see how long these two last. One by Seiko and one by Formex. Now the Seiko is one of the last sub $500 Seiko ranges that I haven't reviewed to this point. It's the Tuna. Now I've always been put off by the size, the 46+ diameter dimension of these watches. It was the end of financial year in Australia a couple of days ago and I picked one up for a good price during an end of financial year sale, so let's see how I get on with this one. My experience with the Arnie earlier on this year has taught me that just because a Seiko is big doesn't mean to say it's unwearable if the lug to lug is short enough. The second watch is the Formex Essence Ligera Super Light Carbon Fibre Chronometer. Now Formex are a brand that is everywhere across the YouTubes at the moment, so you're not short of second, third, fourth or even fifth opinions if you're keen on one of these. To be clear, I paid for the Formex, but they gave me a good discount on it, so this is kind of semi-sponsored if you see what I mean. I reviewed the Essence towards the end of last year and I really liked it. I thought it was a great watch, nice design. I had a couple of reservations about the branding and the size overall. This one though is super light. I think they're talking 55 grams for the head of the watch, which is just amazing. So one way to counteract size is by making a watch lighter. So I'm keen to give this one a long-term crack. Let's flip the camera and peel off some stickers. Okay, one by Seiko, one by Formex, both in quite similar sized packages, despite the price disparity. This one is $1,800 this one is $200 or close to it. As I said, I did get a bit of a deal on the Formex though. Now I'm going to leave the Seiko to the back end of the video. I want to leave that anticipation of whether or not I can actually pull off a 46+ diameter dimension watch for just a few more minutes. I have been itching for this Formex to arrive here in Sydney. You know how it is when you're constantly checking a website, you're clicking on the same page, checking whether these have come back into stock, and last week they came back into stock. And here it is, the forged carbon dial, carbon case version. But hang on a minute, that is a canvas strap. I asked for the rubber strap. Let me check the big box. Haha, the rubber strap is in the big box. All is well in the world again. Just look at that thing, and it weighs next to nothing and it's still attached to the cushion. I reviewed the regular Essence last year and I really enjoyed the watch. A couple of patents built in. It's got a kind of flex system in the case and a patented adjustable system on the clasp here as well. Now the brand name Formex, perhaps a little unfortunate, has always reminded me of somewhere between a prophylactic and a spark plug. I believe it's a portmanteau. It's a conflation of two terms in French meaning form and excellence, design and excellence, but it doesn't quite translate well into English, I don't think. I think they're working on that logo as well, but this watch, well worthy of my attention, I reckoned. Let's get it off the cushion, get it on the scales and see just how light it actually is. 63 grams, that is like Casio light, and it's an cost chronometer spec automatic movement in the back of it. Alright, let's peel off the two key stickers, get this one set and get it on wrist. Before I do that, let's have a look at the case back. Let's have a look at that movement as well. Now that is an STP 111 COSC spec, so they're top grade, fully decorated with a skeletonized Formex rotor, I guess shaving off a couple more grams. So carbon composite case, forged carbon dial, skeletonized rotor, super light strap, all combining to make that 63 gram weight. And a forged carbon deployant system as well here, all with the Formex branding on it. This is different from the one on the Essence, the metal bracelet. This is the kind of on the fly here. You push that down and when the watch is on your wrist, you'll be able to adjust it for comfort using that little pusher there. I see what it means, kind of, oh, there we are, a ratcheting system. Again, they've probably got a patent on this as well. Let's get it on wrist this time. And just look at that thing. It's perhaps a little blingier than I had anticipated it being. I think it's that shiny zirconium oxide black ceramic bezel there, sapphire crystal covering the dial. Obviously it looks great. Now let's have a look at this clasp. Pop that one open, and I believe if you push that down here, you should be able to, there we are. I've got a bit of extra comfort adjust without, you know that way that rubber straps, leather straps, you're always kind of between holes? That rather solves that problem. But I had wanted it on the rubber strap, so let's swap it over. Okay, so as you can see here, I had to do a bit of work to get it to fit. I had to cut the rubber strap. I hate cutting rubber straps. It's such a nerve-wracking experience. I guess there's an extra option here for guys with bigger wrists. I'm in the smaller wrist camp, so I removed that end piece, transferred the quick release spring bar, put it on the carbon fiber deployant, and here it is on the rubber strap. This was kind of what I had in mind when I ordered one of these. Barely noticed the thing is here. Big watch at 43, I think it's about 50mm lug. I'm going to leave it a while actually, given that there's so many of these on YouTube at the moment. I'm going to give this one a proper run in my collection in the rotation, and I'm going to come back with a full review of it in a few months' time. But this was what I had envisaged, a rubber strap, all carbon watch, good size, 43 like I said, but not unwearable as a consequence of that lightness. So far so good. I'll be back in a few months with a full review. Okay, on to watch number 2, the Seiko Tuna, specifically the SNE 498P. Now, the reason that I got this was A, because they had a great deal on it at a local dealer. I got a full 3-year local warranty on this one as well for the end of year special, and because this is a black and gold model, and I do have a bit of a thing for black and gold colorways. To be honest though, it's not a watch I know much about. I've always avoided it because I was put off by the size. Here it is. How does it look? Oh, it looks like a bit of cardboard. It looks okay. That's actually all right. Yeah, so that definitely looks all right in terms of size. Looks all right in terms of the colorway as well, doesn't it? That looks pretty fantastic. So let's see if the bezel lines up. Oh, how's that chaptering? Hey, we've got a good one here, folks. Let's peel off some stickers here then. I think there's only a few, but a few's better than none. And no dial protecting sticker unfortunately, but there is one of those coloured ones on the case back. So solar quartz, obviously I hardly need to state that given the fact that the word solar is printed on the dial and the second hand is ticking once per second. Caliber 157, V157 in this apparently. Again, I'll do a bit more research for the full review. I believe it has a 10-month kind of battery life charge when exposed to a reasonable degree of sunshine. I've been heading towards solar quartz over the course of 2020. I swapped my G-Shock 5600 for a G-Shock Solar, and I reviewed the Citizen ProMaster Eco Drive a couple of months back, and I thought it was a fantastic timepiece. Really so much more reliable and rugged than the equivalent automatic, so much more accurate as well. Perfect for an occasional wear, something that you can just tick away in a box and then you can pop it on at the weekends. Let's get the calipers out and have a look at this one before I get it on wrist. Well, indeed, that is the big diameter dimension that I had been worried about, but that is the compact lug-to-lug that I've been hoping for to offset that diameter dimension. And bang on 12mm thick, not at all bad for this style of watch, I don't think. That looks and feels fine. What was I worried about? I think the super soft silicone straps always make these watches wear nice and comfortably as well. I've tried Mr. X's on the Turtle and various others and they really are great. The looks though, I love the black and gold. Not convinced by the shroud. I'm not quite sure that it's all that necessary or it does much. I guess if you're a hardcore diver then it certainly protects the case of the watch. Let's see how that bezel operates. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Kind of standard Seiko, that kind of notchy, ratchety feel. Oh well, perhaps I had avoided the Tuna range unnecessarily. I'm glad I finally invested in one, and I'm glad I got a good deal on this black and gold model. So I think that will do for today then. Two really interesting watches. I'm looking forward to giving both of them the wrist time they deserve over the next few weeks. I'll probably try and come back with a review of the Seiko in maybe 3 weeks, but as I said, I'm going to leave that Formex till everybody else has reviewed theirs. Thanks for watching. I will see you in a future video.